as the base. Ra'ash is going to be the Hebrew, and the English head. Okay, head or first is what Ra'ash is. Otherwise, Ra'ashwan is very similar. Now we have the Sh as the letter, the root. Then we have the Shun, which is the Hebrew word as a example. Teeth is going to be the definition as far as what it means. Okay. Now we have the Th, which is the last one. We have the letter, the base, Thamayam as an example. Once again, perfect is what it means as definition. Okay. So now it's not the last time that we are going to do this. Once again, we are going to have more examples for each letter that is in Hebrew. All right, so we can get familiar with our own language. The more that we practice, the more that we get better at it. Okay. All right. Damn right. Damn right. All right. Does anybody have any questions or concerns as far as the Hebrew? Let me know. All right, let me know. All right. So let me see. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and erase this off the board. All right. All right, so we do have a few more things that I do want to go over. It doesn't look like we have too much time. So what I'm gonna do is next week we are gonna go over a lot more. So so of course this is just examples, right? This is just the basics. Next week we are going to go over how to speak to each other in Hebrew, as far as conversation. All right. Of course, we know hello or shalom is peace. Peace is another way of saying hello. Hey, we are going to speak in like just very common phrases or sentences to where we can have a complete conversation with each other in Hebrew. And we are going to dig deep into where to find these words and how to put them together. So that way you know what you're saying and how it's being said, so it's not confusing. All right? Because you want to know exactly what you're saying and how it's being said, because based on how you place the usage of a word, it could change the meaning of what you're saying, of the substance of the conversation, things of that sort. All right. So really, this is going to be Hebrew 101. Then it's going to get more complex. It's going to get more challenging as time goes on. Okay. All right. So let me see. All right. Once again, so I'm going to open up the floor right now for the last 5 minutes for brothers and sisters who are watching. What is something that you want to learn or see in the Lashawan Qadash class? What is a word that you want to know? What is something that you want to see taught? We already spoke about the dietary laws, which can be definitely taught, which is very important because we need to know what to eat and what not to eat, based on what the Lord said, not based on what you believe and how you feel, spirituality, none of that, BS. based on what the Lord said, the dietary laws, which is in Leviticus the 11th chapter. So, what is something else that you want to learn as far as Lashawan Qadash, or you want to see? I'll leave it up to y'all, and we go ahead and do so. All right. So 5 minutes. I'm going to open up the floor to y'all. Otherwise, I do have a few things in mind that are very important to know when it comes to the ancient Hebrew, and you might just see a few things at the Passover when you see the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and also the Passover when we actually get into Lashawan Qadash, the ancient Hebrew, so to speak, our holy tongue. Okay. Let me see. When you say supernatural, what do you mean by that? You got to break it down to me. That's very broad. You got to make it straightforward, narrow, if you could. What do you mean by supernatural? Do you mean is there a Hebrew word for it, or what? Okay. What do you mean by that? Okay, you gotta. Okay, yes. What, Slaki? You gotta explain. Explain to me what you are speaking about, so I can understand. Otherwise, for those that are watching, if you don't have no idea, let's see here. There's one great class that was done in Minnesota that a lot of people enjoyed. Learning more about the names of the people in the Bible who are prominent, popular names in the Bible. Like when we went over the books, the names of the books of the prophets, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. We went over Yahweh Shai. We went over Nehemiah, so on and so forth. What Exodus mean in Hebrew, Leviticus, things that's Joshua. All right. The name of the class is Lashawan Qadash. Lashawan means holy. Oh, it's like Lashawan Qadash means holy tongue. Okay. All right. Lashawan Qadash is holy tongue. All right. Qadash is holy, of course. Lashawan is tongue. Oh, hey, most high Christ. So I did a whole class as far as the 12 tribes on how to say it in Hebrew and what each name actually means. So I'll be doing that very soon. I haven't done that in a very long time, so I will do that very soon. The water for you mentioned that, Shar. Oh, what's the name of the class? Ashley says I'll send it to you. I forget by heart, but I'll go ahead and send it over to you. Don't sweat it. I got you. I'll send it over to you. Don't sweat it. Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yeah, I got you. Don't sweat it. All right. Yeah, it's an old class I did some time ago. Okay. Oh, you're in the bar. No sweat. No sweat. You're in the bar. All right. So far I got. Okay. It's okay. Okay, to the brother, I'll get back to you as far as the supernatural thing. Otherwise, brother Shar, I got you on that, and then the sister, I got you on that one. Okay. Otherwise, it's 9 o'clock. That close it out. I want to say the water, which means thank you to the Akim and Akhwatim who joined class today. Of course, we went over, something simple, but also too, some informative things So I want to say join us next week. Also tomorrow, Sabbath service. You know what I mean? Sabbath service like we have every Saturday at noon, or sometimes a little early before. But join us tomorrow and join us for every class that we have in Minnesota. And we are going to, teach you nothing but the truth outside, inside the Bible, okay? All right. Otherwise, I want to say, stay tuned, and also too, everyone who asked a question, right? Um, or have a request, we are going to go over that in the future. All right. So with that being said, I want to say shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabbat to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar. Thamba Shem Shah to all the sisters. That being said, shalom. All right. And you're the broad warrior.